Okay, I got my torque converter running. I'm going to start my lathe in reverse. I'm going to wind this out. Go into forward. I'm going to get this started. Turn it on. Okay. No sense in going crazy there. So what? He's threaded a 3-inch long nut. Well, that's not my total intention. Wait for this thing to stop. Put it back and forward. And start it. Okay, so my intention, and I know just about everybody has seen the left hand, right hand nut trick where they got a nut and bolt threaded both directions. So I got another tool here set up for left-handed threads, and if my calculations are correct, maybe it's just my hunch, I'm gonna make left-handed threads on top of these threads. Now I'm not going to be able to test those threads, but I'm kind of going to go by feel, because I don't have a left-handed screw yet, and maybe I should wait and make a left-handed screw first. Yeah, I should probably do that. I should make a left-handed screw and make sure the left-handed threads I'm cutting are correct. But first, I want to test my theory that I started these threads on A, the letter A. Now, my theory is I'm going to, you know what, my theory was I was going to start the left-handed threads on 1, but I should probably start them on A also, shouldn't I? No, I should start them on a different time. I should start them on 1. So A on the right hand threads, start on 1 on the left hand threads. And I don't want to start cutting those threads until I have a left-handed nut to test it with. So let's just brag about this right-handed thread that I made. That is 3 inches long, and this thing goes all the way to the end. And what I ended up doing is making multiple spring passes. I mean, I probably made 6 spring passes. I ran spring passes till I couldn't hear anything cutting anymore, or I barely heard anything cutting. So that brings us back to the next phase, which is making a left-handed nut. Screw goes into the nut. So I guess I just need to do that. Am I going to lose anything by pulling this out of the chuck? No, I'm not, because I'm done turning right-handed. So, do I want to do anything to this before I pull it out? Possibly chamfer it. And I would say, roger that. And I got a chamfer that I should probably use a tool to chamfer it rather than a bit. Yeah, why not? You know what, for right now I'm going to leave it just the way it is. So let's just pull that out. And good decision, because I like the look of that right there. That thread starts right here. I want my left-handed thread to start straight across from that. Or does it even matter? Tell you what, I'll put that out to you all. Does it matter where I start the left-handed thread? Does it have to be opposing the right-handed thread? You think about it, it shouldn't, it probably doesn't even matter. Man, that's a good looking deep thread. It's very, I didn't measure it, but let's go in backwards. Let's see. This is yeah, I think I threaded from the other end. So let's start this on the back. And it starts on the back just as well as it started on the front. So this was, you know, if you got it, you know, sometimes it won't start on the other end because of the taper that you introduced. But this one starts equally on either end. I'm kind of proud of that. Okay, so next, we'll talk about it. Let me pry you off of there. There's a little chatter on this face, so that would be the right-hand face, opposite of where we were cutting. We were cutting on the left face as we turned this thread. There's tiny chatter marks on the opposing side of that thread. And if I would have fed in the cross slide a half a thou or even a thou, might have cleaned that up. And that's something I'm going to try in the future, I think. I don't know if you can make that out. If you go to this side, there's none of that chatter. Chatter, shutter. Well, what I watched online and what I didn't put together till I started to do the edit was my Russian friend started with a 4-start thread, So his first turning was a 4 start. So I need to do a little research and see what numbers or letters I need to start on to do a 4 start thread. Now, I've done one in the past on this one. And that's a 4 start thread. And I know if I, like this was, say this was 20 threads per inch. I actually dialed my machine in at 5 threads per inch. And I'd started 1 thread on 1, A, 2, C, 3, D. Pretty sure that's how I did that. So if I'm doing 8 threads per inch, I need to go to 2 threads per inch and do that. So what I'm going to do is, this piece isn't going to make it. Not going to work. I'm going to have to do the same thing with a 4 start thread. So my intention is going to be to make a 4 start thread bolt first, and then I'll make the 4 start thread bolt left-handed, and then I'll turn it around and do the same thing, whatever I just said. I'll make a complete set of right-handed threads with 4 starts, and I'll do a complete set of left-handed threads with 4 starts over the same piece of material. When you look this up on YouTube, most of the people are 3D printing this and then doing a lost PLA casting. So that's where it lays. Let me sleep on it and see what I'm going to do. And it certainly would be a challenge to do the 4 start threads, and in both directions. And probably going to require some cleanup filing to I can't anticipate that. Alright guys, that's just a little follow-up. My thoughts after reviewing my previous babble. So, that's what you get.